Sweat. We just started. We literally just walked in here and we're sweating.
Already.
So on today's agenda, I think we're going to...
So on today's episode of the Crockers,
we're gonna... So I think today we're going to work on the countertop today. If we can get past that, that'd be great. I'm going to be honest with you, we're starting late today. We had a lot to do earlier today. We went and picked up a bunch of supplies.
so we have, our goal is to finish the kitchen as soon as possible and completely finish it.
Yeah, the whole kitchen will be completely done before we move on to anything else inside. So, I think today I'm going to try to work on this. Let's check out the crack real quick. It's really not that noticeable.
Yeah, all up until this point, you can't really see it. And even this, I think, might lighten up a little bit. But Jason's going to sand it down and stuff. I personally like the crack. I think it gives it character. And I like stuff that's not perfect. So
That's why she married me.
Uh-huh.
So, we're going to go ahead and start working on this. We're going to sand it down, try to get it as smooth as possible. Fingers crossed, that's the plan. So, let's see. So, as you guys know, we do have a belt sander. I don't know if we'll need it, to be completely honest. I have never gone in and tried to sand down some concrete, and I know some of you are already saying, don't do it, it's going to be a wreck. That's how we do things around here. So, I'm going to use some of this sandpaper. We bought an assorted pack here, and so it's got from 80 to 320 grit, and I'm going to use some of the rougher stuff real quick by hand and kind of see if I can't work on some of this. I'm going to do a wet sand, so let's see if by hand will work. If not, we'll use the belt sander. So this is 80 grit. I don't know what it'll do. The sound is going to be absolutely terrible right now. So, let's see. It is getting smoother, but I don't want to sit here all day with this. So, belt sander it is. So we're going to go ahead and use this belt sander and see what it can do. Hopefully it won't ruin this concrete. It's kind of taking it out. It kind of showed me that I didn't put enough concrete in that crack. So I'm going to keep working on it and see if I can get this off. So as you can see right here, this is looking a lot better than this over here. So it's going to take a lot of work. That probably took me, I don't know, 3 minutes or so. So that all around, it's gonna be a lot of work. So I'm gonna go ahead and work my way around this way and see if I can fix it. Luckily, I don't have to worry about the back, it'll be covered. And then we're gonna have to figure out this crack, which I'm probably gonna have to fill in again. So I'm gonna get busy working on this, and I'll show you in just a minute.
So while Jason is sanding down the countertops, I'm going to go ahead and start sanding this down, and then we're going to prime it, and we will be painting it black to match the stove. So I'm going to get started on that. Now that I have cleaned off all of the rough stuff, Jason and I both took turns, but The rest of it, like on the sides and stuff, that paint's okay. So now we're just gonna go over everything and prime it. We already cleaned it off, so that's what we're gonna get to next.
So while Jaylena is priming that up there, I'm going to go ahead and start clear coating this. I'm going to seal it. As you can tell, it's not 100% perfect, but it's okay. It kind of gives you some cool rustic look to it, I guess if you want to call it that. So I'm going to go ahead and start sealing that. It takes an hour to dry. It does take a lot longer to actually use. We're not going to use it, so I'm going to let it dry, and then you can recoat within 2 hours. So I think we're going to do plenty of coats on there to get it how we want it. Same thing with priming and painting up there. So we'll show you in a minute kind of where we're at on that. Alright, so I'm going to just do a quick coat with this little foam roller. I know this is not how you're technically supposed to do this, but, you know, we don't do anything according to how you're supposed to. So I'm going to go and roll it on and put the first coat on.
Jason's like your typical man. He doesn't believe in instructions.
I believe in science. It does go on kind of milky. I have used this stuff before, and it takes a couple of coats to get going, but it's going to look really good. I'm going to do this first coat real light. That way, one, I'm going to get it on here. It's not a big deal, but I want it just to seal it first. And then once you get 1 or 2 coats on, then it'll start to build up. And then that's when it's going to look real good. So this is just a good first base to get it going. If you guys were ever wondering what it would look like with this coat on here, this is the color it's gonna be, and it will stay that darker color. And the more coats that you do, the more it'll look wet. So eventually, I'm gonna try to just to fill in all these cracks with this, and that's why I'm trying to get a good coat on there right now to kind of seal it in there, and then I can kind of fill it in. And I know a lot of you are gonna say that, or I know a lot of you are gonna ask, is this food grade safe? About as safe as everything else in this camp house, so we'll go with that.
Safe enough.
We haven't died done yet, have we?
We haven't died done yet.
Dell approves. Okay, so we got this sealed up for the first coat. As you can tell, it is a lot darker than it was before. It just looks like wet cement. Who would have thought? And so we're going to let this dry, and then we're going to do coat after coat after coat. I have no idea at the moment how many coats we'll do, but that'll kind of be until we like it. So we'll keep making sure it's good, even if I have to wet sand it in between coats, make sure we're knocking off any little points and stuff. That's not a big deal. I personally am liking this more industrial, rustic feel, showing the crack in it, kind of some marks. A little bit of drops that were in there. It's not any big deal to me. It's not any big deal to me. Never mind. So,
not even big deal to you?
not even big deal to me. But it looks pretty good so far. It 100% has a different feel than it did before. Because look at this. Remember that it was this nice old school look. Now, boom! New school. Then Jaylena painted this. It's almost dry, so we might hit it again with another coat of primer. Another coat of primer, and then we'll paint it black, I think is what we're going to go with. Kind of match the stove. You want to talk?
I'm just making sure you know what you're saying.
But I think we're going to use a little bit of cedar that we have left, like we did back here in the wall, right over here. As you can tell, it is kind of junked out everywhere else in here. It was...
That's what happens in a construction building.
Yes, but before we started the kitchen, Jaylena came and cleaned the entire thing, and it looked awesome. It was super good. But you guys know, when you're in construction, it just gets unreal because you got to put stuff here and there and building and dirty and blah, blah, blah. So our main focus right now, it's just the kitchen get this completely done, and then move to another project, which I think is the bathroom, which we have a surprise for you. You want to tell them what it is? You want to go look?
I think we should just show them.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We got a new shirt. This was donated by my dad. It's been used and abused, and so we used it as a flag because we got all this metal. Check it out. We have a ton of this roofing. This was on my parents' roof. They got a new roof, I think, last year, the year before, and it took them forever to finish because they kept having issues. No, it wasn't my dad's fault. He hired somebody. But they had so much left over because they had to order and reorder and reorder. We didn't want it to go to waste, so we're going to use it inside the cabin. Let's go show you exactly what we're going to do with it.
This door is so stupid. Why did they put it in here like that? Uh-oh.
So, we're in here in the bathroom, and we're thinking of using this metal as kind of a wainscot, and so it would hook on more along the lines of these. Of course, it's got to go this way. These are all cut the exact same length for my dad's roof. These are like the cutoffs. So luckily for us, they're cut the exact same length. So we don't have to go in and cut anything. And we're thinking maybe.
Why don't you put it on that wall over there?
Why? It's the perfect size. So it will be industrial looking. It's free.
It's green.
It's green. And it's metal. It can hold up to all this. And then what we're thinking is we bought a bunch of plaster, and we can plaster from here up, and we'll use boards as trim to kind of cover this and kind of break it up or whatever. We were considering doing metal all the way up. We still might, but I think I don't want to use all of it in here in the bathroom. So if we put it around like that all around, we're going to take this out. We're going to put a different sink in here. I think it's one that we actually have in the trailer that we're using at the moment without the sink on top for our kitchen. But I think we're going to put in here, take the hot water heater, put it outside, build a little shed thing for it, and then that way we can just put it all, put a nice mirror and everything, redo this whole bathroom. It won't be perfect, but it will be a lot better. There's something trying to get in.
Or there's something in here.
It's a big rat, bro. Look, it's right there on that side.
Are you serious? Not scared.
Alright, so we got a whole bunch of these cedar planks left. They're just cut-offs. And what we're going to do is use it right here and kind of put this side looking like that side. And it's okay if it doesn't go all the way to the edge. We're going to end up trimming it up and all that stuff anyways. So we're just trying to use what we have without wasting anything. So we're just going to mock that side and put boards, spray paint, do the dang thing. That's the beauty of being an adult. I know I don't look like it, but I'm 34 years old and I can spray paint walls for a living. So remember, we are going to gap it just a hair, but not a whole lot. Just like over there. And if you want to come here real quick, you can tell they're starting to dry up. And the cracks are getting a little bit bigger between them. That's what we want, and that's why we did the paint behind it thicker, like we're doing over here. So when it shrinks, the gap gets bigger, and that's the gap we want. We want it to look more like shiplap, like real shiplap, and kind of cabiny. So, getting it done. Again, I'm not too worried. We're going to do a thick piece over here. We're just trying to utilize what we got. And we'll show you that it's the final touches that you do that make everything look real good.
They make all the difference.
They do, bro. When's the last time you said bro?
I'm trying not to.
When's the last time you said it?
I don't know.
Have you gone longer than a day?
I don't think I've said it today.
Doing pretty good, folks. So, as you can tell, again, it is not perfect on the edges. We are not worried about that at all. We will come back in and trim it up right there, trim it up on this side, put the lip on there, and it'll look just as good as that side. So it'll kind of bring it all in together, look like one big piece, and then we'll throw the backsplash back on there once all this is coated up and dried good. So I think it's look good. A lot of you commented and said that we shouldn't do this wood back here, that whatever we put in the cabinets, we should just make that what pops. And I kind of agree with you guys. That's why I like asking y'all questions. And a lot of you said instead of hanging the coffee mugs on the actual backsplash, like back here, we should just hang it here. I do like the idea, and from growing up, that's how my parents had it on theirs, and I'm pretty sure my grandparents and my granny. The only reason I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to put it on the backsplash itself, is the coffee mugs we have, they're pretty small. They're not very big, and it really wouldn't give it that pop of color that I'm looking for hanging right here. It'd barely hang. So I'm going to use it more as art on the piece, but as well as functionality. So, great idea, just wrong coffee mugs, I guess. Alright, so we're going to start painting. I think this is a good enough coat of the primer. We are going to use the cheap $1 can of paint because we're balling on a budget here, guys. We're showing you how to do everything on the cheap. Worst case scenario, I know some of you are thinking, like, no, why? At least that's probably what my dad's thinking. We'll redo it. We'll just sand it off and redo it. It wasn't that much to get it off in the first place. So we're going to do this, and if it works, $1, folks. So let's go ahead and get to painting. I am not a painting expert here, but I do know tons of light coats, not thick coats. So we're going to do it real light. Just get a good, nice base on it and let that dry, and then we'll do it over and over. And if I get it on the green, not a big deal. I just paint
the green.
And another thing, when you're painting, I am not an expert again, but I do know this. Don't go because you're going to get circles and it's going to look like poo-poo. And watch. Just do some nice, just act like you're at the ballet and just want to be real smooth and gentle with it. You want to get your strokes good.
Like you're instructing an orchestra.
Yeah, but not so up and down. Just more of level orchestras. Okay, that's good. And like I said, I ain't worried about this up here. I'll repaint it.
You want this chair?
No way. Alright, that's already a little thicker than I was going to go in the beginning, so I'm going to go ahead and work my way down.
I think you might be a little too close.
No, I'm not.
Just leave it like that. Hey guys, we keep it real with you. What other YouTuber is renovating a house and using
dollar spray paint?
I tell you what, I don't know of any other ones.
I do want to say there are a lot of YouTubers that I've seen out there, and they make everything seem so, this is easy, this is cheap, this is that, and they're all full of it. It's crazy. I know these people, and I watched them, and I've talked to them. I know them, and so it just blows my mind that there's people out there lying to you guys. And we try to keep it real. We try to show you when we do something it works, when something doesn't work. We try to show you the full process. We're not going to say, hey, we're going to do this, and then it's done, and you don't even know how it's going to be done, because you're here to learn as much as you possibly can. So we're going to try to teach you. And a lot of you here came from Shed to House, which means I know you're broke like we are. So dollar cans of paint, guys. Let's be real here. We're real. We're the Crockers. We're awesome. Maybe we're not awesome, but we're real.
Well, let's be real. You ain't doing this in our house.
Why not?
Better be buying the $3 can of spray paint.
Oh. Alright. So, I'm going to work all the way around the sides, and then we'll let it dry, and then we'll hit it again with another coat.
Alright, you guys. We are going to call it a day for the vlog, but we still have some work to do, but we got to let some stuff dry, so that's it for today, for today's vlog. But tomorrow, you'll get to see all the stuff we're doing.
Yeah, so you won't see it in the video, but when you watch it the next day, tomorrow, this will be hopefully fully clear coated, if not fully, a lot. And then this should be fully painted. I may, if I have wood, go ahead and frame this up so it looks decent. Again, I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do over here, so I may frame it, but I may not. And then, I don't know, maybe I was going to work on the doors, the cabinet doors. I may start painting and stuff down here, but the cabinet doors, I have an idea, but I need a table saw. So maybe early in the morning, we'll run into town to my parents' house and do work, of course, in the barn, cut a bunch of boards, stuff like that, bring out more material that's out there, and then hopefully knock this out. We did buy plaster. We're going to try this, guys. I don't know if it'll work, but we're going to try to plaster the OSB like normal ceilings, and we got the little stamper thing and then all that. So we'll do that. It may crack. I am not really worried. If it does, it's going to look 10 times better than it did. So we have a lot of work, but we do have to figure out the sink side over here. It is dirty. It's got a lot of stuff, but we bought, we're not going to do concrete like we did over there because of the sink. We bought some stuff that you paint on, you roll on, and it goes to this laminate and sticks. We got a color that's like the concrete, so it'll match. And we're going to see pros and cons of that versus cement, what we like better, because we're trying to figure out what we like for our house whenever we build it. We're trying to figure out what you guys can do, because a lot of you probably have laminate countertops, maybe not this exact color, but we'll figure that out. But we have to figure out if we're going to keep this backsplash or put a new one.
So we have a lot to figure out and a lot more work to do, but right now we're going to take a break. We're going to edit this vlog, get it out, and then we got some more work to do.
Yep.
So, as always, guys, if you like this video, please feel free to give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And, again, as always, thank you so much to WeBoost for allowing us to upload our videos out here from the ranch because of our awesome 4G cell service.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a cell phone booster, it's not internet, it's cell phone booster, there is a link down in the description. And, shameless plug, we have Coffee with the Crockers, guys. We are trying to do 5 episodes a week. I already talked to Jared, and I talked to my parents, and I think they might start getting on Coffee with the Crockers. So if you would like that, we will put a link down below to one of the Coffee with the Crockers videos, and go over there, subscribe to that channel, and that has really nothing to do with this channel, or my parents' channel, or Jared's channel. It's just, we like to have coffee with you guys in the morning. But on top of that, if you go subscribe and all that stuff, if that's what you like, I think there's like 400 and something people already.
Something like that.
Thank you so much to you guys, because you guys are awesome. But, Jaylena
to those of you who are subscribed, we have a question for you.
Yes, ask it.
We want to go live on Coffee with the Crockers and
in the
have
morning.
I don't know, we can go live, right?
I'm pretty sure.
So if we can, if we're able, we want to go live in the morning and have real-time coffee with you guys. And we want to know what would be the best day for you guys. Would it be like a Friday or maybe a Saturday? We're thinking maybe the weekend because...
more people would be off.
Or in the case that more people say, no, we want Friday. So just comment down below and let us know what day works best for you guys. And
what time?
What time? Maybe like 7 a.m. Central Time, 8 a.m. Central Time?
Yeah, but you have to let us know Central Time what works. And if you don't know, just say, hey, I live in Ohio, and I think it'd be cool if you did it at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we could figure out the time difference. But we just thought that would be super cool because I was telling Jaylen, I said, you know how cool it'd be if we can actually have coffee with you guys?
Like in real time?
And it would be real coffee with the Crockers for you guys, but real coffee with Crockers, or real coffee with you through the comments like we normally do live chats and stuff on our normal videos. So if you're into that, let us know. I think it'd be a fun idea. So if you're into it, we'll link a thing down in the description, a video to Coffee with the Crockers. You can go over there. There's no custom URL or nothing yet. We're still pretty small on that. But if you're interested in Jared and my parents being on there, and maybe Matt whenever he comes in town, let us know. And if you'd like to do the live, let us know what day and what time, and we will make it happen. So, Jaylena, tell them goodbye.
Goodbye.